Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video I'll be going through all the Warhammer products available to pre-order this coming Saturday. Now, last week could have been the worst preview ever, and it's gone a full 360 now, as this week is packed. There's so many good models, such cool sets to look at. Some we haven't even seen any previews for, which I think is brilliant. So let's get started, and we'll have a look at all the new products. And it begins with the Christmas Battle Forces, but only Age of Sigmar this week, so that must mean that the 40k Christmas Battle Force box sets will be available to pre-order the week after, so we'll see the preview for them next week. Firestorm Games have sent me another bonus discount offer to share with you, and that's going to be featured later on in the video, so look out for that. Let's have a look at the first box set then for Age of Sigmar before we look at all the Warcry and Blood Bowl stuff later on. So first up, it's the Cainite Slaughter Coven for the Daughters of Cain. This box set is going to have 27 miniatures in altogether, and that's going to include the Slaughter Queen on the Cauldron of Blood and loads of other units. This is a really great one if you're looking to have almost all the units available for Daughters of Cain for Warcry. This would be a really good set to pick up and fun for Age of Sigmar too. If you'd like to see more details about this box set, I've covered it on my channel in depth, so have a look at that video available now. Next up is going to be the Gloomspite Gitz Stampeding Squigglons. Great set this one, 25 miniatures altogether. You get 2 lots of Mangler Squigs, so that's awesome. Loads of other Boingot Bounders, you get a Squig Herd, you get the Loom Boss on Giant Cave Squig. Really awesome set. If you like Squigs, you can't go wrong with this one. And there's also a video for them on my channel if you want to check that box out in more detail. Next up is Legion of Grief. This is the battle force for the Nighthaunt, led by Lady Olinda, the Mortarch of Grief. And you even get the Black Coach. This is a really nice set. Great way to start collecting Nighthaunt, I think. And you've guessed it, there's a video for that on the channel as well if you want to have a look at the points and cost breakdown. Next, we've got the Auric Warclans, the Cruel Boys Swamp Lurkers. And look at this, the Killer Boss on Corpse Ripper Vultures included, and a Snatcher Boss on Sludge Raker Beast. You've got options to build those in different ways, and then you've got all the other Cruel Boys included in there as well. So really nice set. I'll put a link to this video as well in the description down below, so it's really easy to find afterwards. Next, we've got the Venomous Host. This is for the Skaven, and you're going to get a lot of miniatures in here. 85 altogether. You've got Clan Rats, Plague Monks, Storm Feeds, all sorts going on, and you've got that Screaming Bell in there as well. And that video will be linked down below if you want to see a complete breakdown of the options you've got for those units. Then there's the Thunderstrike Spearhead for the Stormcast Eternals. This one took me by surprise. I'm actually ordering this. It's the only Battle Force I'm going to order this year from Age of Sigmar and 40k. It just looks awesome. It had all the units in there I really wanted to get, but just felt they were too expensive to buy on their own. So combining these in one box set is brilliant. And of course, we don't have the prices confirmed yet, but look out for that video coming tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get them confirmed by then. But this box set, 26 miniatures, included 2 Stormdrake Guard on those Draconith. Awesome, and some really great units to go with them. And that video is also linked down below. And the final Battle Force box set available to pre-order this coming Saturday will be the Sylvaneth Revenant Wargrove. You're going to get 28 miniatures altogether, some really big units, great value for money there. And again, I break down all the points and costs for this one too in a separate video. That's the Battle Force box sets. Now have a look at this Eye of Tzeentch Curseling. This is going to be available on its own now. First of all, it was available in the Arcane Cataclysm box set, but now you can buy it as a separate miniature. And also it was going up against this Skinari Enlightener, and this model is also available on its own. I've never really taken to the Lumineth. I mean, I've painted some that came in Underworlds in the box set, but as elves go, I'm a big fan of wood elves, but I've just never taken to these elves, so hopefully we'll get some wood elves one day. Right, now we're on to Warcry, and check this out. Sundered Fate is going to be available to pre-order next Saturday too. This gives us 2 excellent warbands. I think they've done a really good job here. The terrain didn't look like it was a lot, so it'd be interesting to see it actually on the table. But yeah, the warbands themselves are fantastic. The first ones are the Hunters of Huanchi, and these are going to be the Seraphon. Really cool models. I think they've done great to put those like pterodactyl looking creatures in there. I think they're great. I think this has got to be one of the best warbands for a while, actually, for Warcry. I think these are fantastic. And if you're a fan of the Seraphon, you've got to be happy to have an upgrade for these chameleon skinks. I think they're brilliant models. Then there's the Cultists of the Jade Obelisk. These I really like. You've got the leader there holding a heart in her hand. That's just crazy. You've got one of the Tzeentch, like demon birds. I'm not sure what you call it there. That looks cool. And I love the masks. I think it contrasts really well with the armour. So yeah, two really good ones. Here's the terrain that comes with it. Doesn't look too bad there. Not too far off what we got in the previous box, actually. But yeah, I don't know, I just feel like it's a little bit less. And so depending on the price, again, we'll get that confirmed tomorrow. So looking forward to getting the prices confirmed for sure. As well as the models and terrain, you'll get the double-sided gaming board, the Stealth and Stone Warband Tome, the Fighter and Ability cards for both Warbands, and a set of Battle Plan cards too for setting up games. So that's nice to put some extra Battle Plan cards in there, really cool. And then for the rules, it says you can get them for free, available to download. So if you don't have them already, that's a really great option. So check that out in the article. There'll be a link in there to get those for free. Also available are the Ravaged Lands Gnarlwood Watch Camp. So if you want the terrain from the box set, this is a good way to get hold of that. And so, yeah, brilliant. This is going to be a nice extension to this box set of Sundered Fate that's out now. So I think if you combine both of those terrain sets, that's a really good amount for Warcry on the tabletop. So I think that's really what you do need to get the most out of this, both sets. And if you don't want to get the two with all the warbands, that's a good way to go. But if you like the warbands and only wanted one of them from the previous set, you can now get the Horns of Hashut. You'll get 10 miniatures all together, and then you'll get the ability card, which will have the reactions on there too, and you'll also get the fighter cards. If you preferred the other warband, then Rotmire Creed are also available. You're going to get a total of 10 models there as well, and again, the ability card and the fighter cards too. Then there's the Rotten Ruin book, so if you wanted to get that Warband tome, that's available separately, 64 pages altogether, so you can expect it to be as big as the previous Bringers of Death book. If you got that a while ago, it's going to be the same page length as that, and that'll have everything in there to use with that terrain. Here's some brilliant news. The Warcry warbands are returning, so check these out. Tarantulas Brood, K-Knight Shadowstalkers, Corvus Cabal, my favourite, the Iron Golem, you got Cypher Lords, Signs of the Flame, Splintered Fang, Spire Tyrants, Dark Oath Savages, the Unmade, and another favourite of mine, the Untamed Beast. So really cool that these are all available now again, but it's a big shame because the boxes aren't going to include the fighter or ability cards in there, so they haven't printed them and updated them with the rules. But if you do want to get the rules for these warbands, they're also available as free downloads directly from Warhammer community site, so you'll be able to get everything on there as PDFs. But what a shame they didn't update the cards and bring it all up to date, because these warbands are fantastic and I really think they'll fit in with this new environment no problem. Also returning are the Warcry monsters. When I first started playing was when I started the channel just over 2 years ago now, and I really love these models. This is what really got me excited and into the whole hobby. That Ogroid Myrmidon is so cool. The Fomeroid Crusher, brilliant. And so yeah, these models are great. I can highly recommend getting hold of these. Now, if you got the ones that came out specifically for Warcry, you would have got cards with these, but it doesn't really say in the article here, but I'm guessing that the cards for these aren't going to be updated and included either. But I could be wrong on that, so let's wait and see until we can get hold of a box and have a look inside. Right, now we're on to the dice for Warcry. And when they brought out some sets of dice for Warcry previously, quite a while ago actually, it was over a year, I think, when I got all the other dice, they were so good. Some of the best dice I bought, packaged brilliantly, just fantastic. Well worth the money. I was really happy to pay for them. But what is going on with these? The dice lately have just not been good. So cheap. The logo's not very good either. So I just not liking these at all. I don't know what you think. Do you like them? Do you think these are good dice? Let me know in the comments section below. But for me, I don't like the way they're doing the logos on the dice anymore. These ones aren't so bad with the skulls. I mean, the skulls are great, aren't they, on dice anyway? And the colours are quite good. I could imagine using something like this as custom dice for Astra Militarum even. But just something not quite right. If they were priced a lot lower, then you could expect that this is the quality you're going to get. But for paying 20, sometimes £24 for these dice, even looking in on the photo, you can see the skull at the bottom left, the printed's not done right. The skull at the top, it's not right. And then even some of the dots aren't filled in properly. So if they're cheap dice, you get cheap dice, you get what you pay for. But when you're paying over £20 for a set of dice, you at least expect it to be crisply printed. And so, yeah, the quality on these are not great. So I'm really not happy with the dice lately. Okay, so we've seen the dice for the Hunters of Huanchi. We've seen the dice for Rot My Creed. Now I believe these are the ones for the Jade Obelisk. I really don't like the logo here either. I mean, the colours they've gone for, I guess it all fits in. That works nicely. But yeah, not feeling this logo at all. Let's have a look at the final one, which must be the Horns of Hashut. And there we go. This isn't a bad logo. This could be quite cool. And, you know, it's simple, but it looks good. But just doesn't work for me here either on these dice. So yeah, out of all the dice, I'd probably, if I had to, if I was forced to get one, I'd get the Rotmire Creed ones with the skulls. But, you know, I won't be getting any, that's for sure. Oh, what a shame. I hate being negative, so sorry about that, but you've got to call it as you see it, and they're just not great. But on a lighter note, let's get on to Blood Bowl, a game I'm playing at the moment and having a fantastic time with. It's such a cool game. The rulebook's not written as clearly and easy to navigate, but once you get the rules, it's really good. What a fun game. We're starting a league next month, so over a good, 3 to 6 months in the future, we'll be playing every week or two, so I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. I'm playing Snotlings and having a great time learning those, but this is a gaming supplement here, and this is an expansion for Dungeon Bowl. So if you've got the Dungeon Bowl expansion, the main game, you can now use this as an expansion for it. Great way to get a couple more teams to paint up as well for your collection. This is the College of Death going up against the College of Life. So a nice mix of models from some of the different teams there. Really cool. Maybe you could get this and use them as like star players even in other teams, or split it with a friend. So you've got lots of different options there. You've got dungeon tiles, tokens and more. But you do need the main game to play it. Here's a close-up look at the models included. Hopefully we'll get an article about this, because I'm sure, I haven't missed it, I'm sure they haven't published an article yet. So it'd be good to get a closer look at these models, see exactly which ones. But it looks like a mix of wood elves and halflings on the right, and then for the College of Death, as you'd expect, necromantic horrors and the shambling undead, I think. Next up is the Blood Bowl Spike 2022 Almanac, available as hardback book and EPUB, and this is the Norse and Amazon issues. So if you've got those teams and want their rules, that's going to be included. It's a compilation which contains rules for 8 new star players, including Cindy Piewhistle, Ripper Bolgrot, and Withergrasp Double Drool, that's the name, and then you'll be able to pick it up, hardback and ebook format. So that's pretty interesting. I'm quite tempted actually, because I'm really getting into this game. I'm loving it at the moment. Now we're on to Warhammer, the Horus Heresy and Forge World. So you can get some upgrades now for your Night Lords Mark 6 Legion. So there we go. We've got some Mark 6 Tactical Space Marine helmets and the shoulder pads as well. And the Iron Hands are also getting Mark 6 Legion upgrades for helmets and shoulder pads. These might be my favourite, actually, out of all the ones we've seen so far. Looks a bit like Darth Vader, the right-hand side there. And the shoulder pads are really great. So, yeah, I think these could be my favourites out of all the ones we've seen over the past few months. Right, now on to the Black Library, where we've got Sanguinius, the Great Angel, in a special edition written by Chris Raitt. It's got all the fancy page edges in gold, leather effect covers, all that stuff. Doesn't say if it's signed or how many are going to be included though. And if you want to get it as a hardback, ebook or MP3 version, you've got that option to do so as well. And then next we're on to the Soul Drinkers Omnibus 2 by Ben Counter. That's going to be available in 2 versions there. Looks like the paperback and the EPUB. Then there's Hallowed Ground by Richard Strachan, a Warhammer Age of Sigmar, available in paperback. Then it's getting near Christmas, so why not have 12 Tales of Christmas e-shorts subscription? This is Advent 2022, and this includes stories by Danny Ware, Sandy Mitchell, Mike Brooks, and David Annandale. And finally, there's Mortari and the Pale King, available in French now, and it looks like it's in hardback and EPUB versions. Right, now we're on to Warhammer Press. This will be from Wednesday. There's going to be a battle report with the Astra Militarum. Then there's the Slaves to Darkness Dark Metal Armour for the Masterclass, and a couple of issues of White Dwarf being thrown into the Warhammer Vault. There we go, what a huge amount of cool products available to pre-order, except those dice. And so it's looking really good. I think we've got lots to look forward to over the next few weeks. And then even got the Warhammer 40k Battle Force box sets to come. But I'd love to hear what you think about this lot. Let me know in the comments section below. Is there anything here you'll be ordering? What's your favourite product that you've seen in the video? And I haven't forgotten about that special offer by Firestorm Games, so let's check that out now. I'd like to say a huge thank you to my sponsor Firestorm Games for helping me to keep going with these daily videos. I'll put a link in the description down below where you can save up to 20% on all your hobby products, not just Warhammer, all the other games that are available too. And here's a special code, so if you've made it this far in the video, you can use this code now. Add that at checkout, save an additional 5% on top of those already great savings. And as this is going to be valid until the end of November, we might just get there in time to be able to use this for those Christmas Battle Force box sets. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. It's certainly action-packed this week. If you did like the video, please hit the like button, subscribe for more like this one, and don't forget to hit that notification bell too to join me here next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games. A massive thank you to my Patreon supporters who've been there right from the beginning, supporting me to grow the channel. I really appreciate it, and I'd love it if you consider joining my Patreon, and so I'll put a link to that in the description down below too.